The rain fell softly on the hills. It whispered secrets to the forest leaves. Far away, a temple bell chimed. Its lonely sound drifted through the damp air. It was a sweet, sad sound, yet it was also inviting. The air was cool. It was heavy with the smell of wet earth. Every drop of rain seemed to wash the world anew. The world felt quiet, hushed and waiting. The mountains were hidden. They wore a thick blanket of grey mist. Solan town was somewhere down below. I could not see it. The clouds had come down from the sky. They had come to meet the earth. It felt like a day for secrets, a day for finding things that were hidden. The mist swirled around. It moved like a slow, silent dance. I felt a quiet joy in my heart. There was also a sense of anticipation. This was not just an ordinary walk. It felt more like a small pilgrimage. I had heard stories about this place. A hidden temple, they said, a place blessed by Mahadev himself. My heart felt light. The path would be steep, but the spirit was willing. The unknown path waited for me. The journey ahead felt like a promise. Solan is a small town. It is nestled in the Shivalik hills of Himachal, Pradesh. Usually it is a bustling place, full of life and activity. A small town with a big, warm heart. It is known for its lovely mushrooms and for its generally pleasant weather. Many people come here to escape the heat of the plains, but today Solan was different. It was a town almost asleep, resting quietly under the soft grey rain. The streets of Solan were quiet. Many shops had their shutters half down. The usual crowds were missing. The air smelt of wet earth and the faint, sweet scent of wood smoke. This rainy day gave the town a different kind of beauty. It was not the usual sunny cheerfulness. Instead, it had a gentle, reflective mood. The rain had given Solan a new face, a more thoughtful, peaceful countenance. Solan has a spiritual side too. Many small temples and shrines dot the landscape. They are places of local faith, simple yet deeply felt. The mountains themselves feel holy here. People in Solan live close to nature, and they live close to their gods. The old folk told many stories. These tales were passed down through generations. One story was about a wise sage. They said he meditated for years on this very mountain. Mahadev, pleased with his devotion, appeared to him in a dream. The temple was then built on that sacred spot, a spot chosen by the Lord himself. It was guarded by the high mountains, and it was protected by the faith of the few who knew its location. Why was it called hidden? Perhaps not truly lost, but protected from the everyday world, kept away from the noise and the crowds. It was meant for true seekers, for those with a quiet heart. Its path was not easy to find, and it was not easy to climb. This was perhaps deliberate. It kept the merely curious away, and it welcomed the truly devout. Mahadev's presence is strong in these mountains. The mighty Himalayas are his traditional abode. Every peak, every remote valley seems to hold his spirit. He is the great ascetic god, the one who meditates for eons. He is also the destroyer of evil. The trek began on a narrow path. It started winding its way upwards. The stones on the path were slick with green moss. The rain was a constant, gentle companion. Sometimes it was just a light drizzle. At other times it became a steady downpour. I pulled my hood tighter around my head. There was no turning back now. The journey into the mist had truly begun. I took a deep breath and moved forward. The air was filled with the smell of wet earth. It was a rich, loamy fragrance, the smell of life itself. Raindrops made a soft, rhythmic patter on the broad leaves of the forest trees. The forest was alive with many sounds, but these sounds were muted by the thick fog. It felt like walking through a dream, a green and grey dream. The air was incredibly fresh and pure. It filled my lungs. It gave me energy. As I climbed higher, the fog grew thicker. Visibility started to drop quite sharply. The path ahead often became a blur. The tall trees on either side looked like ghostly figures. The path soon grew much steeper. The climb became more challenging. Rocks were loose under my feet. I had to place each step with great care. My old boots slipped a few times on the wet surface. I often had to hold on to sturdy branches of nearby trees for support. The continuous rain made everything quite treacherous, but in a way, it also made it more of an adventure. It was a real test of resolve and endurance. Despite the difficulties, there was so much beauty. The rain washed everything clean. The leaves on the trees glistened. They were a brilliant, shining emerald green. Tiny wildflowers peeked out from the undergrowth. Their colors were surprisingly bright against the gray backdrop. Small streams and rivulets gurgled merrily. They were swollen with the fresh rainwater. The forest seemed to be drinking deeply. It looked incredibly fresh and alive, a vibrant, breathing world. There were moments of doubt, I admit. I wondered if this climb was too much for me. The temple still seemed so far away. The fog was playing tricks with my eyes. It swirled and thinned for brief moments, offering a tantalizing glimpse of a distant view. Then it would close in again, thick and opaque. My anticipation grew with every upward step. I kept scanning the grey wall of mist ahead of me, hoping for some sign, any indication that I was close. The mountain held its secrets very close. It did not give them up easily. Then, quite suddenly, it happened. The mist parted. It was as if a curtain had been drawn back on a stage, and there it stood, the temple. It was small. It looked very ancient, made of dark, weathered stone. It seemed to almost blend into the green hillside. A simple, unadorned shikara pointed towards the heavens. It was a truly breathtaking sight. My breath caught in my throat. It was more beautiful than I had imagined. A wave of powerful emotion washed over me. First, there was immense relief. The difficult journey was over. Then came joy, a pure, simple joy, and finally a deep, pervading sense of peace. It felt like I had come home. I stepped inside the temple, moving out of the persistent rain into a dim, cool and silent space. The air inside was thick with the scent of old incense and the smell of damp stone. There was a different kind of silence here. It was deeper, more profound than the silence of the forest. It felt as if I had stepped back many centuries in time, into an older, quieter world, a world of faith. The Sanctum Sanctorum was a small cave-like room. A single oil lamp flickered bravely in the gloom. Its gentle light illuminated a Shiva lingam. It was made of smooth black stone. It had been anointed with fresh milk and adorned with simple wildflowers. It was so simple, yet it felt incredibly powerful. This was the very heart of the temple, the focus of countless prayers and devotions over the ages. The presence of the divine was strong here. There were no grand ceremonies taking place, no chanting priests or ringing bells, just the quiet, unassuming devotion of the place itself. I saw a few humble offerings placed before the lingam, some fresh bellpatra leaves, a handful of colorful wildflowers. Perhaps they were left by an earlier visitor or by the temple priest. The single lamp cast long, dancing shadows on the ancient stone walls. It was quite mesmerizing to watch. The silence in the sanctum was profound. The only sound I could hear was my own soft breath and the distant, muted drumming of the rain on the temple roof. It was a perfect place for quiet introspection. A figure emerged from a small room at the side of the temple. It was the temple priest. He was an old man with very kind eyes and a gentle, welcoming smile on his lips. He wore simple, clean, saffron-colored robes. His whole presence radiated a deep sense of calm and peace. He seemed almost as ancient and as weathered as the temple stones themselves. He welcomed me warmly with a soft-spoken greeting. He spoke softly, in a gentle voice. He told me stories about the temple, about its long history. He shared legends that he himself had heard as a young boy from his elders, stories of miracles that had happened there, of prayers that had been answered in surprising ways. He had served Mahadev in this very temple for many decades, through countless summers and harsh winters, through sun and storm. His life was clearly dedicated to this sacred space. He explained the meaning of Mahadev worship. Mahadev, he said, is not just a god in a pantheon. He represents a universal principle, the supreme power of transformation, the importance of austerity and self-control, and the boundless depths of divine compassion. Worshipping Mahadev, he explained, is ultimately about finding that spark of divinity within oneself. He spoke with such simple clarity. His words were easy to understand. His wisdom was profound. He spoke of faith. He did not describe it as a blind belief in dogma, but as a lived, personal experience. He said that the mountains teach us patience and endurance. The rain, he added, teaches us about cleansing and renewal. Mahadev's blessings, he assured me, are everywhere around us. They are there for those who have the eyes to see and the heart to feel. His gentle words were like a soothing balm to my soul. Reflecting on the day, I realized the journey's true meaning. It was much more than just a trek to a remote temple. It was also a journey inward, a journey into myself. The rain, the swirling mist, the difficult slippery path. All these elements were an integral part of the experience. They stripped away the unessential things. They left behind a sense of clarity and a profound feeling of gratitude for having made it. I truly felt Mahadev's blessings that day. They did not come as a voice from the sky or a dramatic vision, but as a deep, quiet feeling, a feeling of being accepted, of being renewed from within. The relentless rain felt like his sacred Abhishek, washing away worries and mental clutter. The profound peace I found in the temple was his prasad, a divine gift to carry back with me into the world, a gift to cherish. The memory of that hidden temple remains vivid, the priest's gentle, wise face, the constant soothing sound of the rain on the roof. These images and sounds will stay with me for a long time. They serve as a reminder of the peace that exists in the world, often hidden away in quiet corners, waiting patiently to be found by those who seek it. It was a powerful spiritual anchor, a touchstone for the soul. So I encourage you, seek out your own sacred places. They need not be famous landmarks or grand imposing structures. The divine can be found in the simplest of things, in the quiet corners of nature, in the unexpected kindness of a stranger, in the silence of your own heart. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more contents like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.